So hello everyone, this is Easy Automation here, and as you know we have started learning the program control instructions since last two videos. So in this video we are going to learn the third program control instruction, which is jump to subroutine. So without wasting more time, let's begin. But before that, you need to like this video and subscribe if you are interested in PLC programming. So let's begin. So what is jump to subroutine and how we use it effectively in our program? Jump to subroutine helps us to divide our program into multiple subroutines, and we can activate and deactivate those subroutines based on our requirement. So basically we can divide our program into multiple sections, and whenever we want to run any section, we are going to run it by activating its subroutine. So to explain it better, I have one example of a motor which is going to operate in manual mode and in auto mode. So in manual mode, we are going to operate this motor by local push buttons like start push button and stop push button, and in auto mode this motor will operate through HMI and it will run for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds the motor will stop automatically. So these are the conditions to operate our motor in manual mode and in auto mode. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this program into two subroutines, from which the first subroutine will run our motor in manual mode and our second subroutine will operate our motor in auto mode. So let's create this program using subroutines. First we need to add the subroutines. And to add the subroutines, you need to look closer in this project tree. You will find these program files in which you will find this ladder 2, which is our main ladder. And to add the subroutine, you need to right click on program files, then click on new. After that you will find this pop-up here in which you can put the program file number. I will keep the default 3, and you can name the subroutine. I will name it manual, then click on OK, and this is how we have created our first subroutine, in which I am going to create the program for manual operation of our motor. And likewise I am going to add one another subroutine, and I will keep the default number 4 and I will name it as auto, and OK. Then our fourth ladder will create here, in which I am going to create the auto logic of our motor. So to program in subroutine, you need to double click on the subroutine, and our subroutine will open here, in which you are going to create the logic. So in this subroutine, I am going to create the manual logic of our motor. So for that, I will add one rung here, and I will add one branch instruction, in which I will add one NO contact and second NO contact, and I will add one NC contact here, and I will add one output coil here. So I have created one holding logic in this subroutine, and to create the auto logic I will open this ladder 4, and in which I will add one branch instruction here and one another branch instruction here, and I will put one NO contact here and here. Then I will add one TON instruction here, and I'm going to add one output coil here and one NC contact here. So by running this logic, our motor will operate in auto mode. But first we need to give the addresses to all these instructions. So now I am going to address all these instructions. So now I have addressed all these instructions, from which this first NO contact will be a binary bit which is going to operate through HMI. So that's why I have named it HMI start, and I have used a output address to this output coil which is going to operate our motor, and I have used this same output address to our this NO contact which is going to turn on whenever this output coil turns on, which will eventually create a holding here. And I have used a TON timer here which is going to operate for 10 seconds, and after completion of 10 seconds our done bit will energize, by which our motor will stop. So this is the logic for auto operation of our motor, and now I am going to address all these instructions which are going to operate our motor in manual mode. So now I have addressed all these instructions which are going to operate our motor in manual mode. So for that I have used a start push button address for this NO contact and stop push button address for this NC contact. And since we are going to operate a single motor in manual mode and auto mode, so that's why I have used the same motor address which I have used in auto logic. So that's why I have used O:0/0 address, and this same output address is used for this NO contact as well to create a holding. And you might be thinking how we can use same output address for two different output coils. Like here in manual logic I have used same output address, and in ladder 4 I have used that same motor address for this coil as well. So let me tell you that you can use single output address in multiple subroutines, but while running the program only one subroutine should be selected. Otherwise it will create the conflicts. So now that we have created both the logics in different subroutines, let's see how to activate them. So to activate these subroutines, we need to go in main ladder, which is ladder 2, and we need to add two rungs here, in which I am going to add one NC contact here and one NO contact here. And in first rung, I am going to call our first subroutine, and in second rung, I am going to call the second subroutine. So for that, we need to go in program control instructions, and we need to add two JSR instructions here and here. So now I am going to address both of these. So for that, you need to put U:3 enter, and I will name it as manual. And for this second JSR instruction, I will put U:4 enter, and I am going to call it auto. So to run our motor in manual mode, we need to select this JSR instruction, and to run our motor in auto mode, we need to select this JSR instruction. And this address contains the index of subroutine and its program file number. So that's why I have addressed it U:3, because our manual logic is written in ladder 3, and I have given the address U:4 for this JSR instruction, which is the address of our auto logic, that is ladder 4. So now I am going to address these input contacts. So for that, I am going to use one auto manual selector switch address for this NC contact and this NO contact as well. So whenever the selector switch is sending the low signal, our manual logic will run, and whenever the selector switch goes high, our auto logic will be selected. So to run this program, we need to go download this program and run. So now our program is in running condition, and our selector switch is giving low signal. So that's why our motor will operate in manual mode, and whenever I toggle this selector switch, our motor will operate in auto mode. So first I will just untoggle our selector switch, and we will operate our motor in manual mode. So for that, we need to go in ladder 3, and we need to toggle our start push button and untoggle it. So now our motor is on here, and if I want to stop the motor, I will toggle the stop push button, and I will release the stop push button, and our motor will be off. So this is how our motor will operate in manual mode, and if I try to operate our motor in auto mode, our motor will not start. So let's see. I will open the ladder 4, and I will toggle this binary bit, but our motor is not started in auto logic because we have activated the manual subroutine. So that's why our motor will only operate in manual mode. But if I go in our ladder 2, and if I toggle our auto manual selector switch, then our second subroutine will be selected, and now we can operate our motor in auto mode. So for that, I will go in ladder 4, and if I toggle our HMI start button and untoggle it, our motor will start, and our timer will count for 10 seconds, and whenever 10 seconds complete, the done bit will energize, by which our motor will stop. And if I want to run this program again, I will simply toggle our HMI start button and untoggle it. Then our motor will start and will operate for 10 seconds, and after 10-second completion, our done bit will stop the motor. But now if I want to start our motor in manual mode, it will not start. So let's see. In ladder 3, I will just toggle the start push button, and as you can see, the motor has no change because we have selected the subroutine of auto logic in our ladder 2. So this is how jump to subroutine works. You can divide single complex program into multiple subroutines. Like here I have created the manual and auto logic in separate subroutines. So whenever the selector switch is low, our motor will operate through manual logic, and whenever the selector switch is high, then our motor will operate through auto logic, because we have selected the auto logic subroutine by this NO contact. So this is all about the jump to subroutine. I hope you got the point and took the notes. And if you have any queries regarding jump to subroutine, you can simply put your thoughts and queries in comment section. I will always be there to answer your questions and try to create your own logic using jump to subroutine. And if you learned something new today, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you don't want to miss the next video. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep exploring our previous videos, in which I have explained the first two program control instructions. Bye.